So you're on YouTube searching for a video. You come across one that has a very intriguing title, and better yet, the thumbnail is that of a well-endowed woman. Interested, you decide to click the link, but here your expectations die because upon doing so, you realize that you have been deceived and the content of the video is completely unrelated to the title or thumbnail. This has happened to me multiple times, and it's a metaphor for what happens every day pretty much in government, specifically Congress in the Senate, because the Senate has weaker leadership, so this is made possible in that process. Now, you may be asking, what is a rider, the topic of this video? A legislative rider is basically a provision to a piece of legislation or a bill inserted so as to approve the bill's defeat or passage. An example of this that defines it most clearly is the recent budget appropriations bill for Congress in 2016, which was recently passed just the other day. One provision, one rider within that bill, stated that kids and even kid-like adults could sled on the grounds of Capitol Hill during the wintertime. Of course, this is a fairly innocent rider, but it still goes to show how irrelevant it is to the budget itself. But basically, people lobbying for sledding thought that, well, the budget bill needs to be passed. Congress isn't going to risk a government shutdown, so they'll pass it anyway, which they did. Another example could be a little bit less innocent, could be congressmen putting in a bill saying that, oh, this bill needs to be passed, and as a matter of fact, we're also going to insert a little line in there saying that all congressmen should get an all paid for vacation courtesy of taxpayers. That's another example. But moving on, riders can also be used to defeat a bill. So if a party is opposed to a bill, they could perhaps insert something in there besides the fact of it being unconstitutional, this following legislation. They could say, here in America, most people over the age of 75 are useless and unproductive to the economy, therefore we're going to kill them. Of course, this is not so trivial, and the bill would be rejected as a result of that, because it would definitely lose people a lot of votes in the coming election, besides the fact that it's immoral. Now, lastly, what I find very interesting with riders is this idea, this principle of a line item veto. Interestingly, the Supreme Court ruled this unconstitutional a while back, but previously it meant that the President of the United States could veto a bill if, of course, it passed in both chambers of Congress. He could veto that bill, but actually just veto certain provisions like riders. So of course, with the proliferation of riders in recent years and decades, you might be asking, well, that makes no sense. Why would they make it harder to eliminate those parts of a bill? And that is my question to you. Why do you feel the Supreme Court has ruled unconstitutional the line item veto? It doesn't make much sense to me. Also, let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts generally on riders? In my view, it's kind of like the fine print to an end user license agreement. It doesn't make much sense, nobody reads it, but it's law anyway. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Peace, love, and liberty. Andrew Demeter, signing out.